Hi, my name is Firas and today I'm going to show you how to export from AutoCAD to 3D Studio Max in order to make this model. It's a simple house made by one of my first year students. Her name is Lama, and that small villa, and I want to make that project based on the couple of pictures that I have from the model, and also I have the AutoCAD drawings of it, a simple AutoCAD drawing actually, and I want to change that and make it as a 3D Studio Max. So this project one, I will make it as separated videos, and each video will try to demonstrate a part of the work. So if you have a simple model as this, or a basic model like this, and you want to try, especially I'm targeting here the first or the second year. It's a very basic export process for a basic design process, and in here I'll try to model each part from the model itself and to 3D Studio Max. In this case, it's a good idea to have a ruler and go and try to get X and Y for every single units of every element in here. I know it might be, there's lots of different ways you can take a picture of it and get into AutoCAD and draw it, but this is also can be a good way of doing it, actually a faster way if you don't have a scanner, or you don't want to get into scaling pictures into AutoCAD. So you can just get a ruler and measure the dimension for each unit, and then roughly draw documents like this one, for example, that represent the entire site, where the yellow is the second floor, while the first floor, while the red is the ground. Anyway, that's the ground with more detail. I draw a simple 4 elevation where the height is 4.5 as per shown here between each. It's a good idea to start by having a polyline, and I draw a polyline here and a polyline here. It's just an offset of it. And in case if you don't know how to draw a polyline, it's just a PL, and I will go through each part of it. So I'm not gonna redraw it again, I just want to show you here. So if I go PL, sorry, here it's gonna draw a straight line, and when you reach a curve, so you have to press A space and then just pick here a point. Don't worry about the shape of the curve, just in order to return to a line, L space, and then click again, and so on. So after you finish, you have to reach to the end and make the loop, and at the end of the loop just hit C space in order to close the loop. I already explained that in the previous videos. Anyway, have a look at this. You can just click here and drag it to the edge, likewise here, to make it the exact location, and then you can use the offset command. So the trick is when you use polyline, PL again, it's just gonna draw a lines like that and that. If you want to change it into arc, just hit A and then space. It's gonna start drawing arcs, as you can see, then L space to return to draw straight lines, and then when you want to close it, just hit C space, and I'm gonna make a closed loop. It's very important to send closed loop to from AutoCAD to 3D Studio Max to make it exactly capped extrude rather than non-capped extrude, which is almost useless for our purpose here. I'm gonna delete my line, and I already did this, so I can just hit W for right block and then select objects, and I'm gonna select those 2 lines here. And here I'll hit space, and I'll change the location of here, the file here. I'll just name it new block with the default name, or just name it 1, whatever you want, and then hit save and hit OK. Now, as long as we exported something, it took those 2 lines and make them an entire separated file by itself. and I did explain that also in the previous export or basic export example that I did in a previous YouTube. Here again, it's a good idea to go to units inside AutoCAD, UNITS, hit space or enter and have a look of what do you have here. So here the units are meter, so it's a good idea to follow this, and you go to 3D Studio Max and in the customize unit setup, make this metric meter, and from the system unit setup, make sure that this is meter. So those two things should follow whatever you have in AutoCAD. Now in 3D Studio Max, I will go here and go to import, and from import I will choose the same folder that I created for this tutorial. Which for some reason I cannot find it. Yep, I just named it one as if you remembered. Again, it's gonna load it. It's gonna take some time, depend on how fast your laptop and how big the file. Just accept this, the default, and as you can see, it's gonna load that into 3D Studio Max, and it's gonna place it at a level of 0, 0. So if you hit the move and you select the object, right click on the move, you're gonna see that it's located on the level of 0. I'll return to AutoCAD and see what type of levels that we have, and I notice that the floor finish of the inside is 0 and the outside walkway is minus 0.2. So you gotta follow this, which is the lowest point, and in that case it's a good idea to make it minus 0.2 to lower that down, and then you add extrude to it. And in the extrude, you need to understand how much the height of that. So it ended here at 4.5, and that means the 4.5 is the floor finish of that level. And if you look at the pictures again, you notice that here the student, it's actually made on purpose, that slab actually shown, so it doesn't want the wall to be shown, and the slab actually is not concealed under or behind the wall itself. So in this case, that point, which is the surface of the floor finish here, will be the 4.5. so you need to be like a 200 millimeter less than that. So in this case, if you go to the 3D Max, so you need to go from 0.2 to 4.5. Let's say from 0 to 4.5, that's 4.5, and then extra 0.2, that will be 4.7. But remember that you have to remove 200 mil again to get rid of the slab, the thickness of the slab. So it should be 4.5. Now it's kind of really black, so hit M for material and drop any default material here. So that's your walls again. As you can see, that represent the entire ground floor walls. And then I will go again to the same file, and in this case I will write the block, and I will choose only the inner line, which represents the slab edge, the lower slab, which is the ground floor finish, which should be set at a level of 0. So again, I will go here into Max and I import, and this time I think it's took the name, the default name, which is new block. Here, if you zoom in, you will see that it's actually being placed at a level of 0, which is just a happy coincidence. It's the same floor finish, so I'm not going to change that. All I'm going to do is just to add extrude to it, and I will assume all horizontal levels are 0.2 minus actually 0.2, and then I'm gonna give it a material. Maybe if you need to hit F4 just to see the edge, will be a good idea. All the horizontal surfaces, just to remind you that I usually go with the minus extrude, and for us as an architect it's a good idea, because when you want to select the slab later on, you want to go to look and see what's the level of it, rather than add or get rid of a 200 of the final value. So usually when you have any type of horizontal surface, it's a good idea to go the same level, the Z value, the same level as you have as a floor finish in AutoCAD, and give the extrude of a minus 200. Now again, back to the pictures. See, the slab is actually covering the wall, so in this case, inside AutoCAD, I need to write block, and this time I'm gonna select the outer line. Import it again, and it will be here on level 0. I will raise that to 4.5 immediately, which is the floor finish. See, it's gonna be a little bit floating. That 4.5, I get it from AutoCAD. Don't forget, always the horizontal surfaces have and must be in the same dimension, in the same level available in AutoCAD. So it's 4.5, and the extrude is a minus 200, as I said. And just because it's a good way to be lazy from time to time, you don't need to get extrude again given to this each time and make it minus 200. Just go to the lower level and then right click, copy the extrude and as a modifier, and then paste it. Select the SP line and then right click, paste, and I'm gonna paste it here, same setting. And in the material, I'm gonna pick another one actually, and I'm changing the diffuse color into a brownish one. Yep. And then I'm gonna drop it to get this. So that actually, as a starter, will finish technically the ground floor. Now I need to do the first floor, and it's already been here polylined. It's not polylined. So have a look here. The hidden lines represent, or the dash represents actually the inclination that happened in the masses here, which I'm gonna later on model them. So I'm gonna assume that they are just straight for now, and in later phases of the modeling I'm gonna fix that. Now you either go polyline here, all the boring thing, or just turn off this. Let's try this. If it's made in good layers, that's good. That's the good benefit of working in appropriate layers. I'll turn off this. Beautiful. And I'll go BO for boundary, and again pick points once here, and that's my polyline. I'm gonna move it. So before you're gonna move, it's you have to place that polyline, which is represent the first floor, exactly in the ground, the same location that it should be in the ground floor. So if you want, it's a good idea to make like a reference point, so you can always copy and paste according to it as a base point here. I'm gonna assume that the corner here is the same thing, so that's my reference. So again, I'm gonna copy this from this point to this point, and I'm gonna give an offset of 250 if my memory was still alive. Sorry, 0.25. Nope, so it's offset 0.2. Better. Now right block and select and override and replace the previous one. In Max, the same process, file import, new block, and then OK. And you're gonna notice that mostly it's unseen, so you either go arc rotate and let's see what's happening, which is on the other side, or just hit an F3 so you can turn everything into a wireframe mode, select it, and then push it up to 4.5, which is the level that the first floor actually start. And if you open the layer panel, you can just control all and unhide everything, so you can know that its end actually here at level of 9, so it's again 4.5 as the overall extrusion. So place it on 4.5 and add a modifier of an extrude of 4.5 meter. Again, if you add a 4.5 exactly, it's gonna end, I'll hit F3 to return that, it's gonna end passing the slab or touching the floor finish. And if you look at the pictures, again, that's the slab is actually shown here, so the slab isn't concealed behind the wall, so the wall's actually not touching the floor finish. So it should this make it a 200 less millimeter, so it should be 4.3 actually. Now what I need is to model the slab itself, which is this here. So I'm gonna repeat the same thing. I'm gonna right block, and this time I'm gonna select just the outer line here. And again, import it. And you notice I didn't go for this. I just hit Alt F and then I, just a quick shortcuts if you like them. And that's my thing here. I'm gonna put it at 9, and then I'm gonna steal some extrude for it. And then assign that material for it. So now I have the modeling of the building, this very simple and beautiful shape. And one thing missing is when you go down, you're gonna see that this is empty, and definitely you don't want that. Probably if you just make it without realistic, just shaded, I'm gonna notice that it's empty, so I'm missing here something, which is the slab. Now it's easy to be fixed. All you gotta do is to draw a rectangle REC here from that point to that point, and use right block command to export it and do the same thing. and again here import it, select it and place it at 4.5, and then add some extrude to it, and then the material, the brown one, and it's fixed as you can see. So for now I will stop by this, and in the next tutorial I'm gonna finish the modeling by adding this units here, the room here, and those couple of shading here, horizontal elements. So see you then.